got today? Let's see. Hi, Kirsten. Who else have we got? Let me see. Just give it one more minute and then we'll make a start. Morning. Did you manage to get some time off over the bank holiday, Kirsten, or did you have to work? I hope you managed to have a bit of a break. Right, just check. I should be in focus. I hope so. Just move that back a little bit. Oh, you work nights. Oh, at least you maybe had a bit of sunshine in the day to catch up on. Morning, Leslie. Hi, Leslie. Hopefully we can all enjoy the sunshine later as well. It's meant to be getting warmer, isn't it? I think tomorrow it's meant to be 19. So let's see. Just 1 minute and then we'll go. Okay. So we're going to begin on the floor today, so you can come and have a lie down. So find that position that's most comfortable for you. So the legs can be long, or you can take a little bend if you prefer, so you're here. So whatever suits you. And then you're just going to allow yourself to be still in that space for a moment. So feel that your palms have turned to the sky. And as your palms turn to the sky, allow your wrist line to soften, allow the elbows to relax, and release through the shoulders. And then allow the toes to lengthen, the ankles to soften, the knees to release. So the lower legs feel light. And then just feel that you've created the correct amount of space that you need into the small of the back. So then you open through the front of the hip line, allow the small of the back to melt so it snuggles comfortably to wherever it needs to go for your spinal position. Just feel the spine is light and feel the length out through the crown of the head. And there's a weighting though on the back of the head, so find that sensation so you connect into the base of that skull. And then we're going to take a breath in through the nose, but I would like you to take an arm float as you do that. Exhale, press away. So we breathe in through the nose and we breathe out through the nose. Now float your right leg as you do that. So we're going to breathe in. We're just going to change this warm up today. Breathe out. Now you can do this with the knees bent if you need. Change legs, breathe in. Just bring it to a tabletop. Breathe out. So we inhale, so hip flexion to hip extension. In terms of how far you're taking the arms, again, don't go too far that you disrupt your spinal or rib placements. Now it changes, so you're going to breathe in, hold here, exhale, circle the arms, and then take a breath in, hug, inhale, and then exhale, circle the arms back down to the side of the body. So we change legs, so we breathe in, hold, exhale, circle, inhale, hug, and then exhale, as you let go, arms come down, leg goes back down. So just add that little pattern there. So we breathe in, float, breathe out, circle, breathe in, hug, breathe out, send the arms back. One more on the other side, inhale. So this is actually teaching us balance here. Exhale, inhale, hug, because we don't want to be tipping as we're picking the leg up and down from the floor. and release down to the side. Okay, from that position, you're going to take your right leg away from the floor, and we're just going to open the right leg to the side and bring it back to centre. So you can bend this knee now if you need to for support for your back, or just keep the leg long. So you're going to breathe in as you go out this time, exhale as you come in. So use the inward breath to aid your stability on this, especially if you're keeping the leg straight. Breathe in, breathe out. So you're going to do one more like this, and then you're going to add in the arms. So we're going to open, we're going to close, palms can come together. Breathe in, breathe out. So if you've got that left leg straight, it's going to be more challenging anyway. Inhale, exhale. And when you've done that fourth rep, bring the leg back down, and we're going to switch sides. So we'll do 4 without the arm line. So you do let the leg turn out now. Rather than your kneecap facing you, allow it to turn. Ground through the back of the thigh. And it's an inward breath. Breathe in to breathe out. Now with the arms, inhale to exhale. So see where you can go without this hip getting pushed up off the floor. So less is more, so we're turning out and in. You'll feel it start to work into the abdominals. Remember, you can be here, that's fine. And when you've done that fourth one, just bring the leg back down. Okay, now let's start to add on from here. We're going to circle. So you're going to take your right leg, just keep it on a bent leg, and just start to circle over the underneath leg. Oh, I can hear my hip clicking. Has anyone else with hip clicking this morning? And then go the other way for 4. So you're just drawing that little circle. And release, and we'll change sides. So 4, it doesn't matter which way you go, just make sure you go over the bottom leg and then turn out to the side. 2, 3, 4, and then reverse your direction for 4. Breathe in, breathe out. And release down. Okay, now we start to add in more movement. So from here, breathe in, exhale, hug the back of the leg and bring yourself up. Go long. Breathing in and breathing out. Now you can change the breath if you prefer. Elbows are wide. Neck is long. So we're going to do one more on each side. If you want more, hold it to the top of the shin now, so you challenge a little further. So you aim towards the ankle, but without your shoulders rising. And release down. Good, okay. From here, you're going to bring it back, re-lengthen, bring your feet into hip width. Now, yogic shoulder bridge is extension of your spine as opposed to flexion. So press down, and then you're going to lift up. So it's one, if you like, a flat line as opposed to peeling now. So press down, lift up. So without going into the lower back still, you can bring your hands together and you want extension here. Now, we're going to do this with mobility. So I'd probably keep the arms out to the side because I want you to come down. And when I say flat back, obviously the back isn't flat, but we're not peeling, so you're not curving the spine. It's a long spine, if you like. So you're going to press up, and then you add in that little extension here. Just still be mindful of that rib cage, that you haven't gone and done this and domed out through that middle because it'd be in your lower back. And release down. 2 more. Breathe in, breathe out as you press a little further. Breathe in, reset, so you're not in extension, then exhale to come down. So you inhale, long spine, weight, exhale, then add in the more extension here, so it's not onto the head or neck. Release it back into more of a flat back alignment, and then come back down. Okay, now add in the arms. So you're going to float the arms as you go. So final 2 reps with the arms. So you're going to breathe in, hold, Breathe out, ask extension. Feel the challenge here just by taking your arms away. Inhale, release the extension. Exhale, come back down. So you've got another one like that. So we breathe in, we breathe out, we breathe in to release, and we breathe out to lower. Good, how's that feeling? Starting to feel a little bit more mobilised. Okay, let's take it into a little bit of a rotation now. So you're just going to allow your arms to come out to the side. So with the yoga one, you could actually come out into a T position here. So you're going to come onto the balls of the feet. So you're going to breathe in as you turn to your right. So we just got that. You're going to exhale as you come back to centre. Inhale as you turn the opposite way. So you can let your head look down your back arm if you prefer. So you're breathing in and we're breathing out. So go with what suits your body. Little rotation. We will add on this rotation in a minute. So careful as you take the legs, you're not dragging up the shoulder on the opposite side. Now let's add on. So we're going to turn and hold. Take the top foot away. So you do a little tap, only if you want to. Feet back together and then come the other way. So you turn, pause. It's like the big toe is going to touch the floor if it can, then back together. So that'll add a deeper stretch even to the back of the body. So the big toe might not get to the floor, that's okay, don't force it if you're going to lift up the back shoulder. So it's just like you're dipping that toe into a pool of water. So you're going to inhale, exhale, inhale the legs back together, exhale to centre. So this should feel really nice along the base of the spine. Inhale, dip the toe, exhale, inhale, exhale to centre. Good. And release there. Okay, from this position, you're just going to roll over now onto your side, or if you know you can, take hold of the back of the thighs, and you can lift the bottom slightly if you need to on this, and press yourself up. So you can go up into that seated position. Okay, so you're going to sit cross-legged, both soles of the feet together, however you want to sit, in fact, that's comfortable for you in seated position. So from here, ground through the sitting bones. Let's inhale, take a side stretch. Exhale. Limited on side stretches really, in terms of varying. You could go on the knees, you could do it in standing. And breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Now if you want more, and some of you can do this, arms above the head, index fingers together now. Breathe. Now watch you don't come forward. So you're going to breathe in, breathe out. So you might not go as far. It's going to challenge your balance here as well if you're doing this. It's fine to stay on your single arm. I'm just adding in a little bit of variety because I know this is beginners yoga. However, that beginners class has been on the timetable a while, even at the studio. So we're not truly beginners, but we might not necessarily want to ramp up the challenge to what we would on a Monday 9:45 mixed level. And inhale, exhale, and release. And then just take a little shoulder roll. Okay, from here, you're going to come into a 4-point kneeling position. So bring your knees directly underneath your hips. Bring your hands directly underneath the shoulders. So we're just going to go into the cat-cow to begin. So we're going to inhale, tuck the toes, round the spine. Exhale, relax the feet, dip the spine. Now when you breathe in, try and start the breath and the movement from the sitting bones. So we're not just doing this mid-section. I know this isn't a Pilates class, but still try and get your pattern in here. So you inhale, and then exhale, shoulders melt away from the ears. Breathe in, breathe out. So we still want to cue good technique, which comes from the correct bone placement and alignment. to allow the joints to move fully. And then the muscles can also lengthen. Let's do 2 more. So remember, yoga, initially, there weren't any physical asanas, you know, there were no poses. It was meditation, relaxation, it was all to do with the mind. And then 4 poses got introduced to almost, I suppose, calm and prepare, ready for the meditative work. So a lot of yoga, as we know it, is evolved over time. It isn't truly the yoga, so the teachings have evolved as well over the years, centuries. Okay, now you're going to tuck the toes and then you're going to press back into a half downward dog. Now, if this doesn't suit you, and you'll have known this by now anyway, you've been down here in dolphin doing your cat-cows. So otherwise, make sure you adjust that position. Inhale, tuck. Exhale, just hover the knees and then press the chest back to the thighs. And check your feet aren't going out to the side or turning in. Then we're going to lower back down. You're going to dip the back and then you're going to tuck again. Just slipping on there. So tuck and hover. Now just straighten the knees a little more. So it's not quite a 3/4 downward dog yet, but it's a bit more than halfway. And then send the chest down. So you've got a deep stretch. Press into the palms of the hands. Bring the weight forward, lower, release. Now we go 3/4 downward dog. Inhale, so make sure you do your little dip. Tuck and press. So the legs start to come a little straighter now. Press into the 4 corners of the palm, like you're twisting those lids on a jam jar, so into the little finger line. And then lower down. Feet flat. Breathe in. Tuck the toes. Breathe out. Press back. Full downward facing dog or your dolphin. And lengthen. And feel that stretch through the back of the body. Let the head and neck go. And just press off with the palm line. And then bring the weight forward. Lower the knees. Come into extension. Let's do 1 more like that. Breathe in, tuck. Breathe out, press. Now can you straighten the legs anymore and draw the spine back. So tailbone up to the sky. And come through and lower and release. Okay, just take a little release back into that child's pose. You can bring the knees in closer and the feet. If it's better for you to sit out wide, that's okay too. Then bring your hands into the small of the back. Draw your elbows towards one another. Or you can interlace and reach away and press up and away there. So you've got that full length through the body on the back line. So open that chest, releasing the shoulders, and then let go. And then slowly roll. Bring your head and neck up last. Okay, so from here, we're just going to take it into a mini sun salutation sequence. So you're going to find your plank position. Now it might be we're just going to stay here for a moment, that's fine. So I'm going to do this version to begin. So you can choose where you're going to begin. So knees underneath the hips, and then we're going to come through. So you're going to go nose, chin, chest, abdominals, lengthen. So when you're here, watch you're not just pushing up into your lower back. Lower down. Tuck the toes, breathe in, and it's like you're trying to scoop either side of the navel off the floor before you push up, therefore you're not pushing directly into your lower back. Exhale. And then come back through. So flat here, breathe in, lengthen, exhale into that pose. So it's like a cobra. Now you could bring your feet together here if you want a little more. And release down. Tuck the toes or bring them back into hip width now. If you want more, you press directly into downward facing dog rather than cobra. And then you've got an option, so knees, or you can stay on the toes if you want a little more. Now watch the shoulders, pull them back everyone, Don't have them up by the ears. Scoop into cobra here. And release. Touch the toes, breathe in. So you can go child's pose first and then downward dog, halfway between the two. And then you can challenge it again and do your up dog. So you can be lowering on the knees still, scoop through. If you want up dog, you press up through the ankles, through the front line open, and then we're going to lift back, lengthen. Just adjust the feet, let the head and neck go. And then bring yourself through one more round there. So you can be here on the knees, that's fine. So this might be your option. And then bring it back to centre. Okay, so take a sip of drink if you want to take a sip of that drink. And then we're going to go on to our next exercise. So from here, we're just going to bring, that was the floor, not my knee, your right leg in front of you. So bring your right leg in front and we're going to lengthen. So we're going to do a modification of the pyramid pose. So you can stay here, you're going to press off the mound of the big toe. So hold in this position, lengthen. Now you can start to draw yourself down. So you might find that leg needs to go a little bit further away so you find you're not sitting back here. So full hamstring length. And then just flex the foot. So as you pull the toes back, notice you get a calf stretch and then press the foot down. So we're going to inhale, flex, calf stretch, exhale. Now when you press the foot back down, think about lengthening the torso so you've got a deep stretch. So we're just going to do this with a little bit of movement. So if you need to with your back knee, you need to make sure you've got a towel underneath it, or if this isn't good, you can do this in a standing position. So you're here, okay, but that will require a different amount of flexibility, or you could even sit on your bottom and do this. So keep going where you are if it's okay. If it's not, just take one leg out to the side and you're going to flex and lengthen the one in that position. Okay, let's do two more. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, exhale. So there's excellent for the mobility as well in the ankle joint here. Okay, now from this position, you're going to tuck your back toe, everyone. So you'll probably find you're in quite a wide position there. So bend your front knee and step in that back leg halfway. So it's going to come in halfway. Then bring your hands either side of your front foot so you've got a space for this back foot to step through. Then bend into the front knee, your right leg, step your back leg in, glue your ankle bones together. Now relax your head and neck. I want you to bring your hands either to the back of the ankles, the lower legs, or they might around the back of the thighs, and draw your nose down towards the knee line, the shin line, wherever it is you might be going. But keep 60% of that weight forward. Elbows wide. So don't force it into the tissues here. Just relax. Remember, sometimes if you're doing this class in the morning rather than in an evening, there might be a difference in where you can go flexibility wise. And then release the hands back down either side. Okay, now you're going to step back on your right leg this time. So you've gone quite long into that position. And you're going to lower the back knee down. So then we're on our front leg. That should be the left one. So just adjust your position a minute. So the knee line to the hip line. And then you might have to walk the leg forward slightly. So go where you need to go to let the leg go as straight as possible without the foot lifting off the floor. Okay? And then bring your hands so you're supporting that body weight. Press down into the mound of the big toe. So feel that line, feel that stretch. So remember that hamstrings, you've got three muscles that make up that group. And you're going to inhale and flex, exhale and plant. So this is an important action here with the ankles. So you know when we're walking, we're running, even cycling, you want that fluidity through your ankle joint. So flex. And now weight here. When you go back down, really open, not just the toes, but your joint here. Let that joint open and lengthen to the floor. Then just have a little check-in with your alignment, that you're not going out to the right. Keep the weight centered, so you might need a little bit more weight in the left hand. Breathe in, breathe out. So when you flex the foot, just check you're not doing this with the body. The body wants to stay aligned. Can you all feel the depth of that stretch into the calf? And really towards the back of the knee, above the back of the knee, because you know that main muscle of that gastrocnemius starts above your knee, and that soleus muscle just starts below. So we're flexing and we're straightening. Let's do 2 more. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, exhale. And then bend your front knee, tuck the back toe, straighten the back leg. So from here, just step it in half a stride to begin. Just find balance. Then you might have to adjust your hands forward again. Step your back leg in again. And this time I want you to see if you can lower, I'm going to move back on this camera, the bottom towards the floor. So go, just going to come back. This is a little bit of ankle mobility as well. So see if you can lower the bottom towards the floor and then bring your palms together. Now we might be a little bit higher, that's okay. Go to where you can go here. That's it. And then from this position, just start to lengthen. So now you're on more of a diagonal, again with the spine. If you've got tightness into the front of the shins, you're going to be feeling it. So you know you probably need to get your roller out or your fascia release ball or tennis ball, whatever you've got, if you're feeling it at the front of the shin. Because remember the muscles there feed into your ankles. So just hold in that position, sit low. We're doing it with the feet together today. So I'm modifying that Hindu squat position. So you might be here, that's okay. And then you're just going to bring the hands down, bring your weight forward towards your hands, raise up now to the balls of the feet. So you can bring your heels together. Now we can have a balance here. This is fine. So hold, and then if you know you can balance, take your hands away and start to lengthen the spine. We are going to come into extension in a minute because I'm aware we've done quite a lot of flexion with the spine. Not that that's a bad thing if we're in the correct position, it's just we don't want to be hunched or rounded excessively. Hold. 2 more rounds of breath. See if you can inhale for 4. Do equal breathing, exhale for 4. And you've got 2 more rounds, sorry, 1 more round. In for 4, out for 4. And then release your hands. And from this position, you're just going to transition now. So you can either sit back onto the bottom, or you can carefully come out of that position. Take a little shake out. Now, we're going to counteract this. So we're going to go into extension. So with your extension today, either one, we're going to come towards that fish pose, but we can modify. So your fingertips are going to be facing and just behind the bottom. Now when you do this, watch you don't push back. Keep the weight long and lift your sternum and then the chest line up to the sky. Here, so we're not pushing back. You might be on the fists if you've got any wrist niggles, so we're here. Get your weight out of your favourite side, so balance it, open the line. Now, if you know you're happy with that, and that should provide a stretch if you're not pushing your weight back, remember that's the key, there's a difference. Okay, you're not just lifting up to the sky, you've got to put an arc in the spine. You're going to come down onto the forearms here. And then the elbows are directly underneath you. Press your palms down and watch you don't just bulge the rib cage here. You can let the head and neck go, that's fine. But you need to be pressing off of the palm of your hand, feel it through your triceps. And we're here. And holding that modification. You do it with the knees bent as well, that's okay too. So whatever feels right on your body, lengthen. So don't shift your weight back, press down, lengthen. And breathe. And then slowly come back up. Okay, sitting tall. So we're going to add on from this in a moment. So in what I've said to you before, if you find your back is stiff here, if you've got a roller, remember, you can just bring it, so you know your shoulder blades, they hang over the roller. So when you lay down, you're in this position. So this might not be a bad thing to practice. So you're there, just hanging over. Now, if you've not got a roller, that's okay. You can either roll up a towel, or like a beach towel, quite a firm towel, or use the edge of your bed, just don't fall off of it. Bring your feet so they face the headboard, and that you hang over from there to open that front line of your body, okay? So that's a really good way to get into that extension, and you can stay there, you can build it up towards staying there for a minute, okay? Obviously, if you've got blood pressure and conditions, etc., then you probably don't want to be going right back into that position. So let's add on now with an extension. Now you might want to roll the mat, or if you've got your padded mat, you might be okay with the knees. So from this position, you're now going to take your right foot in front. So press into the right foot. That's it. Now we are actually going to tuck the back toe. Now just notice when you tuck the back toes, that then ignites up through the front of your left thigh. Can we feel that? Now have a little look at this foot, that the heel's not going out to either side, so you truly align that body. Okay, now you shouldn't be feeling on your kneecap directly. If you are, that's probably because you're pushing your weight forward. So what you need to do is, with the toes tucked, is lengthen the tailbone, that's a certain, and then as you lengthen that, let your hip open at the front, and just ever so slightly bring the weight back. So you might feel like you're here. When you've dropped the tail, you still need to bring your connection back to centre. So you've got that groundedness through the front foot and tuck into the toes. So we're going to bring our hands into the small of the back for a moment. Elbows draw in, and then press back and open here. And lengthen. So feel that openness. Now, if this isn't good on the knees, just come up and drop a fraction. So you don't go too low. It's not a lunge. I'm not looking for you to feel a quad strength here. I'm looking for a length. So you could come here and balance instead. So from that position, see if you can feel as if you've got that shining beam of light now from that sternum, and then bring your index fingers together like this and reach down. So you're shooting those energy lines down the back line here. And it's just a different feel to having the arms, you know, up into that traditional yogic position. Reach away. So you're sending the energy down through the base of that root chakra, if you like, lengthen. And just check the pelvis is still square as you've done that. Now bring it back to centre, so you're going to come out of extension. Now I want you to flatten the back foot, okay? So de-tuck the foot here, okay? Press into the front foot. If you're in standing, you're obviously going to have to keep it tucked to a degree, or you can come up a little bit higher and flatten the foot. I'll show you in a second. Lengthen back now. Now this, just be careful, because there's more chance of the flat foot, you're going to go into your lower back. So just be careful of that. So you're here. Lengthen. Now if you're happy with your back as well, you could add in the arms above the head. Don't do that if you've got back niggles or issues. And then if you're in standing, I'd come up higher. You might want the wall slightly and point and lengthen here. So in that standing position. So stay wherever feels comfortable for you. And then you can release. Okay. So from here,
tuck your back foot. Probably should have rolled the mat from the back in, but never mind. We'll just go a little hurdle if you've rolled your mat like I have. Step in, relax the head and neck, and then step back on your opposite side. So you're going to step back, lower down, front foot flat, and then lengthen. Okay, so you've got that support, if you want it, into the knee line, okay? So just be careful that you're not hurting the knees wherever you go. So we're going to get a stretch on the opposite side now. So your left foot is flat, or whichever one you didn't do last time. Then you're going to tuck the back toe. So feel the stretch, so it'll be on the right thigh into the hip. Can we all feel that? Yeah, and the toes are tucked. It's like you're pressing off the mound, of that big toe. So stay here. Watch the knee isn't rolling out to the right or the left. So good, and breathe. Pelvis is square. And once you've found that position, you can start to add in extension. So it might be you want the support here, that's absolutely fine. So check, as you go into extension, you don't go forward with the body. You're going to go from here, up and over. So we've got a horizontal line across the blades. And then you can always interlace here and lengthen back. So point through the index fingers, lengthen away. How does that feel? Is that a nice opener? So open through the heart centre. You stay grounded on your back foot, reaching away. And your abdominals will support you. You know, if you want more, come up and lengthen. And when I say more, that basically lengthens the levers, so your internal structures are having to do more. So don't do that if you know it's not right for your body or your back. And then we use the breath line. So I just want to spend an equal amount of time today making sure we've done the extension as we have done flexion, because it's so easy to do all those forward poses and forget about coming this way and only doing it as a counteraction and not spend an awful lot of time. Now again, there's no way this should be in your lower back. So dropping your tailbone, lengthen. If it's in the lower back, you're in the wrong alignment, basically. It's not because it's a bad exercise, it's probably because we've got a bad form or posture going into it. And again, press and change your back foot now. So flatten it, and then you've got to still keep pressing. It'll allow you to go further because of the fascial lines when you bring that flat. Arms can go up and away if that's where you want to go this morning, or you might just want to stay here. Remember your standing option I gave you. 2 more rounds of breath. In, 2, 3, 4. And this is really working here. And then you're going to go in again. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Come back to centre. Excellent. Now this time, just bring your front foot and bring it back in line here. How did that feel? Have a little seat. So that should be deep through your front of your thighs and hip flexors, really open now on those lines. So this is where we tend to hold that emotion, that stress into the hip line. So that should really help. And if you're having knee niggles as well, because that main muscle of your quad, remember, your thigh crosses your hip and your knee joint. Okay. And we should definitely feel more free through that upper body, back spinal line. Okay, so let's just roll the mat back out. Okay, and it's true, isn't it? If your spine's stiff, it's tight, it's sore, that makes you feel miserable. That probably does make you feel older than we actually are, because you always feel crippled when the spine is compromised. Now, your next one, let's take it into some rotation. So we're going to start to come a little bit closer to the floor here. So you're going to go, in fact, we'll go onto our back to do this one. I'll give you a little break from that knee line. Okay, so come down onto your back. Now you're going to bring your arms, you know that T position we did earlier, but now we're going to make it a stretch. So lengthen here, feet together. Now turn as if you were going to do your mobilizer exercise.
Now you might have to bring your your hips up slightly here and then release to the floor. So your underneath leg is down, and then you can take your top leg so it can rest here, or it can go to the floor, or you can go to the floor on a straight leg here. So your back shoulder is down, that left shoulder is down. Now play about with the foot position, because I ideally want you to have a spinal stretch, not a glute stretch. Now if you've got it in the bottom as well, that's not a bad thing, that's okay. But what you'll find is if you just do this, let me demonstrate, and push the knee down, all you're doing then is lifting the spine and you're going to get a glute stretch. That isn't what we're looking for. We're looking for a twist. So look, the foot, don't worry about it getting to the floor necessarily. Just have it here. You don't have to turn your head if you don't want to. Nothing to do with the fact I've got a bobble in this side when I hit it when I turn. But yeah, on a serious note, you don't have to turn your head. Your head can stay facing the sky. So just feel where you're going, because sometimes as well we do overturn the head and neck in a compensatory for the thoracic spine, you know, where we tend to sit, the shoulder blade line being tight. And then just draw your leg up a fraction. Now drop so you relax the hip, and then see if you can find that stretch round the spine. So let your ribs wrap here. And yeah, you can challenge it, you know, you can straighten the leg, go where you need to go to feel that. And then release. Come back to centre. Now that should feel quite nice on the one side. So we're going to go the opposite way. Just bring yourself back. And in fact, before you go the opposite way, just float one foot off the floor, float the other, hands over the top. Now let's go into our circles a moment. So we're going to circle here. And we'll do 4 the other way. So just building from what you did in the mobilisation section where we just did it on singles and we were warming up. And when you've done that 4th one, release. And then we're going to turn to the side. So turn the opposite way. Just feel where your body wants to go today. Relax this back shoulder. And then you can start to take the top leg over. The floor's cold. So take your top leg and ask a little more rotation through here. So it's less of a glute stretch. You can take the leg away if that's where it wants to go, or you can keep it straight, whatever feels right on your body. Just find that position and breathe. Relax the back shoulder. Again, the head can stay neutral. Now while you're here, can you think, even though you're taking the ribs around to the left, you're drawing the right shoulder back down, and almost like you're going to draw the ribs back with you, you're not really. And as you do that, press into the left hand, press into the right palm. That gives you that counteraction of forces, that opposition. To get the length, yeah, you don't just want to stretch, that won't do anything. Piece of elastic, it'll just return to its original length. So there's always a contraction, opposite reaction to what you're doing. And then release. Come back to centre. Okay, then from this position, float both the legs off of the floor. Take a little shake out, just like that, jelly baby. Release. Okay, from here, let's go into a stretch for the upper back trapezius. This is a really nice one. So you're going to bring your hands, if you can reach, to the inside. Your head might stay down, but if it can, let it come off the floor. Now watch you don't do this and lift your bottom. So you press away into that happy baby pose. Now again, the knee line is open, or the hip line's open, but don't just do that and push your knees out to the side, because you're just getting in a thigh stretch. I want it down here, down the side of the neck, across the shoulders. If you can reach, bring the soles of the feet together
and then almost bring your small of the back into the floor and press your foot line out into your hand line. So when you do this stretch, you should be feeling it down here, down the neck, across the top of the shoulder blades. Now, if you're not, it's either because you're pulling your foot in, but I don't want you to pull it in, I'd like you to press out. It's more subtle, you see? So you're not just jamming the foot line in, you're lengthening out, foot into hand line. And it could be because you're tipped back too much, so it might be you have to bring your weight, tweak it forward into a little flex position. You're not trying to sit up or anything, and then just that foot out into the hand without taking your knees so wide. Just bring them in a baby movement in, so it's not in a thigh, it's from the back line, and hold that stretch. And if you need to come out of it, that's okay too, as you go. Feel whatever position suits your body. The lower down you get your hands around the foot as well, the more stretch you'll get. And this is also good to feel how you're balanced on the pelvis. So bring your knees in, and pick up your knees and run inward a bit. Press the soles of the feet and then press away. And do you feel like you're getting pulled to one direction? I am slightly. So we might have stiffness through the muscles in one side of the body. Feel the pelvis now. Everyone drop your shoulders. Just release it. Yeah, let that relax. Let it go. Breathe. And then slowly release. Bring your feet down. Float your arms over the head. Just go the opposite way there. And then bring your arms down so you get more of a chest stretch. So look, your shoulder to your elbow, your palm to elbow line there. Okay, so feel that little opener. If the flexibility allows, you can bring them down to the floor here. And then I just want you to lengthen your arms and then release your arms. Release. Like a little sun angel rather than a snow angel. As we're going up and down rather than out and in to the side of the body. If they don't touch the floor, that's okay. Look, you can do it here. So just feel the openness again through the chest. Breathe in, breathe out. Or change the breath to suit you. So breathe, release. One more. And then just bring your hands back down to the side of the body. So from this position, you're going to start to take it now to an inner thigh stretch. So from here, we've got a few options now. If this next option I'm going to give you doesn't suit you, you can stay where you are, keep your left leg straight, and then you're going to take actually this way so you can see, you're going to take your leg out to the side. So you might have to have that leg bent, and you draw your leg up and over, okay? Otherwise, come with me. So we're going to roll up, or you can roll onto your side first, and then from that position, so this is getting more challenging. It depends on the knee line or the foot line. Now you're going to stay on your right knee, okay? You're going to take your left leg out to the side, and you're going to flex the foot, so you get an inner thigh stretch. So you might just have to turn your thigh bone back. Now you can challenge this more, so you're either laying on your back, your right leg is your leg is out to the side, so you've got a stretch on that inner thigh, or you're here, and if you want more, come up onto the ball of the foot there. Then flex the foot, deepen into that inner thigh line. So then we're adding the element of balance to this stretch. So you've got options if you want a little bit more. So I know some of you do more than yoga a week, some of you also do Pilates, so you might want to challenge it. Some of you do the Monday yoga as well as this one, so again, you may want to challenge it. So this is fine here, as is this, and it's perfectly fine to stay laying on your back as well. So now you're going to bring your palms together, so we're here. If you're on your back, excuse me, then obviously you're not going to take the hands away. You're going to be pressing down into the one that's on the floor and opening that leg line a little more. And we can do the same here. Just watch you don't go down if you brought your palms together. So hold that position. This might be where you want to go. And can we all feel that length? Hi, is that feeling? No, I can see somebody else. Now I'm looking at that screen. sure you've been here a while, it's just I've only just looked. And then release down. Okay, step this foot in. If you're on your back, you're going to change. So you might want to stay, or you might want to come down. This is fun too. You can flex the foot now, lengthen that leg. Feel like you're putting your thigh bone back into the hip socket, and then you turn out a little bit to find that position. So you could start here whilst you're dropping that down. So you're not up here, look. Just change that orientation of your pelvis. Yes, so the longer the leg goes out, the more this is going to drop down. Now don't force it and turn. And the palms can come together. You might be on your back, and if you're on your back, whichever leg, you might have changed legs now, but just as I'm on this side, this would be okay too, you know, you don't have to completely lengthen the leg. You might have a strap, a towel, taking the leg out, that's fine. And if you want to transition it, you know you can go up onto the ball of the foot there, and then we're going to find balance. Flex the foot. There we go. Inner thigh stretch. Hold on. Now you can bring your palms together. If that doesn't suit you, stay here. Keep lengthening. And breathe. So palms together, or just stay down. If that suits you better, don't bring them together. One side might feel different to the other. And hold that stretch. So you're going to connect. Keep the length. Breathe. And then you're just going to start to release out of that stretch. Step this foot in. And then from here, you're going to come back down onto the bottom. So you can come into that position how you like. If you're on the floor, you're staying on the floor. Draw your knees to your chest, everyone, wherever you are. Just take your time if you've been in that position. So I've got a zip on the back of these leggings. I've got a roof zip as I lay back. That's better, okay. And then from here, let's start to hold the back of the thighs now. So you keep your knees together, so it's not a movement from the hip, it's from the pelvis, and then start to circle. 7, I'm going to do 8 each way. This is really nice. Calm through the mind. So calm into the nervous system as you breathe. And then change direction. So watch you not pulling the legs in, just rolling around the pelvis. 4 points, getting a little massage. Should feel really nice. You could do it with your feet on the floor and do like your pelvic circular clock if this didn't suit you. And then bringing it back to centre. Place one foot down, place the other foot down, and then you're going to set yourself for relaxation. So the legs can be long. You might want to bring the feet to the outer edges of the mat and let the knees collapse inwards. Or you could go round angel pose, or even seated. So I'm just going to come into seated to obviously teach this. So set yourself where it feels right for your body. And then you're going to close the eyes, unless you're going to maintain a soft gaze. 2, 3, 4. So allow the breath in through the nose, out through the nose. Another round of 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Now go into 6. Breathe, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So inhale. Exhale. Another round. And just notice the calming effect the breath has on the mind, the body. Release any tension, anxiety, fear. Just let it go with the breath. Now you could go into 8 rounds, or 8 counts, if you prefer, or stay on your 6. And allow that to almost happen subconsciously now. And then feel where the body is at physically. So are the toes and the fingers are lengthened? Lengthen them now and let them relax. Allow the ankle joints and the hips to be open. And let them feel relaxed. Allow the spine to be free and spacious. And as you've created this space through the back line, it's only right that you've got space into the front line through that heart centre, opening out through the chest. Allowing the collarbone to expand. Feel the length into your arm line as the shoulders dissolve down the back. Feel the length into the leg line as the buttocks relax. Feel the weight of the body into the mat as you let the head and neck go and release any tension. The tension exits the body, aided with the outward breath. And I want you to picture a light, any colour that you like. Just find a colour and see that colour shining. Find the brightness and start to allow the brightness of that colour to transfer into the muscles of the body. So feel the back muscles become filled with that light. Feel the tummy muscles fill with the light. The fronts of the legs, the backs of the legs fill with that colour. The inner legs, the outer legs adopt the same colour. And you're filling your body with that colour of peacefulness, calmness. Harmonise the tranquility as the body is grounded, but you've also got that lightness in the literal sense. Light and free, relaxed, and the vivid image radiating through the body of the colour of light you've chosen. So just find your own shining light. Be still with your thoughts as you centre the mind to the light. Just take a few moments of quietness. Then observing how the body feels in that newfound state of awareness. You're mentally, physically, emotionally connected as you've taken an inward focus. You want to maintain this levelness, if you like, within the body, within the mind, utilised with the breath. And then if you find those moments that arise where you might need to calm or de-stress, you take your mind back to that light and you picture your body filling with that colour. And then start to now just circle through the wrists and circle through the ankles. You can change direction as you go. We're going to hug the knees one by one towards the chest and take a little roll there on your back, right to left. And then you're going to either roll up and come into a seated position or roll to the side and press yourself up. So we're not going to stay on the side today. Then re-ground through your sitting bones. Sit high as best for you. Re-lengthen your spinal column. Open the hips. Open the heart. Release the shoulders. Lengthen the head and the neck. And we breathe in. We breathe out down the centre. And again, inhale. Exhale. One more. Well done, everyone. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that. You can let me know your feedback and your comments. And yes, go and enjoy glorious sunshine in your daily exercise or in your garden, whatever it is you're going to do today. I should do some jobs in the house really, but I think it's too nice. Get out in that sunshine. Maybe I'll do some more videoing outside this afternoon, I think. So, hi Fiona, yes it was you. Sometimes I can see. I hope we're all okay. I hope we enjoyed that. Thank you, Kirsten. I hope you get some rest in as well, especially if you're on nights. Well done for doing that. Okay, take care everyone.